my friend likes to. You remember Fred? We had him on a podcast. My friend likes to say, "Oh, how's Metal Gear going?" Because he has a strong opinion about Kojima being like a garbage developer because he's so himself, right? So he's just like, well, he thinks he's overpraised, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm shooting you down the garbage, Fred," and. He always like, yeah, I'm glad. Once I got to like 4 and Peace Walker, he's like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't play Metal Gear. I'm so happy I didn't play. I was like, shut up, Fred.
Well, yeah, there's a co-writer who worked on all the highest rated games on the series, which are the first 3.
Right.
Yeah, and then left at number 4. He also did Ghost Babel, which is the guy's name is Fukushima. He's the whole. He's a really, really good writer, and I don't think he gets as much credit as he maybe deserves for maybe like helping Kojima focus and condense during those first 3 games.
No. You gotta understand, Kojima, he made the games by himself. He didn't have a team.
Oh yeah, that's right. He just kind of like squeezed some muscles and Metal Gear slowly squeezed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All by himself.
A whole week of constipation. Yeah. And
it's hard work. I mean, you really got to clench.
Yeah.
Like non sarcastically though, I think that is something that's pretty important to talk about. Is just in general like it's kind of sort of the same thing that happened with the Star Wars prequels, because like a lot of accounts that you'll hear now about the original trilogy of Star Wars was. Yeah, George Lucas had a lot of the everything. Like he created a lot of the world and the story and everything, but it was the people that he kept company with that were part of the and like the editors and the everybody else working with him that kept it on track and kept it from going off rails. Whereas when it came to the prequels, that was like 20 plus, almost I think it was 30 years afterwards. And, Lucas has this massive ego and nobody really wants to stop him. And then you get the prequels.
I think it's absolutely analogous. And it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, too, because at that point in this person's career, they have so much respect for being so heavily involved with that previous thing. Who's really going to like have the courage to step in and say, hey, half of your ideas are really good, but maybe you shouldn't do the other.
I mean... in massive jobs like that with people with big egos and big wallets, like that could lead to you just not having a job anymore.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm just saying like that fear is constant. Like, would you question the CEO of your company if you're just like a grunt worker? Like, unless it was a very open environment,
right?
Normally you just be like, I'm just going to take the orders and do what they say because they probably got to where they are. Yeah, they probably got to where they are because of a reason. They're probably really smart and whatever. But like teams make games. Single people don't make games unless they're like really small games or passion projects. Like,
yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Like stuff like Axie Verge and whatnot. Like that was a 1-person team, but like these sort of big AAA productions are not made by just a director.
Have you guys seen that IGN quote from way back in the day? I think it's like 2003, where they're quoting Warren Spector, and the quote reads something like, "People often attribute the entire game to one person." Quote says Spector. It's a good one. I read some old Warren Spector interviews this week while doing the Deus Ex review. Mankind Divided is a good game, but man, a lot of things just really leave a sore taste in my mouth.
In terms of gameplay, story, what?
Gameplay is fantastic. It's an MGS5 situation. Gameplay is fantastic. The story is like bonkers. And it's really sad because like the
like
Deus
good
Ex
sci-fi or
no. But and it's sad because it has ideas that are really, really neat, but also those are ideas that could very easily be led astray and were very clearly difficult for them to work on. So the theme here, just like in Metal Gear Solid 5, oh my god, the parallels, is race. The idea is that in the future, when people get cyborg augmented parts, there is racism that develops against them. You play in the city of Prague in the Czech Republic, where they're one of the first cities in the world to actually institute like Jim Crow apartheid style, like full on segregation, where the cyborgs have to ride the cyborg train in the car in the subway and have to like drink at the cyborg water fountain and can only eat at the cyborg restaurants that allow them to eat in the cyborg section, and there's completely there's no thickness to the veil what they're doing. And I think that's kind of interesting. I don't know how like deep the analogy works, because like race is something you're just born with and got to put up with, versus getting cyborg parts, which is something you opt into. But I can totally understand how the rest of society would see them as weirdos, but maybe not necessarily as like an oppressed minority, more so than like people who have made weird personal sacrifices for the jobs. You know, when you're playing The Witcher and you're Geralt, you're treated like a weirdo, but at the same time people are like, oh, that guy's like gone through mutagens and changed his body to be really good at his job, maybe we should hire him even though we think he's a weirdo. And also there are just like a few of them, so really like changing society en masse to make everyone more comfortable in a world where they have to live with weirdos they hate isn't part of that plot. So the reason why I think it all falls apart and the metaphor really breaks down, though, I'm willing to like tolerate and play with it up to this point, because like on the other hand, like it doesn't even seem that far-fetched of a concept to have weird segregationist rules based on people's purchasing habits or body modifications. There are a lot of parts in the world where you can't show tattoos if you have tattoos. Like fun thing, I'm going to Japan. That's one thing I'm reading in all the tourism boards. A lot of beaches and pools ban public displaying of tattoos. Right. Which is something you do to your body to feel cool. And the Deus Ex augmented situation is people doing something to their body either because they want to be better at their jobs or underwent a life-saving medical procedure. And in both of those cases, though, like it's an example where the people who are getting them either have to pay their way into getting them, or they're like saddled with it as a result of a life-saving medical procedure. And either